Awesome. Great. So I think I've not heard Sai for a long time. Let me start with Sai itself. Sai, I'm unmuting you. I'm spotlighting. You are under spotlight. Yeah. Go ahead, Sai.
Yeah. Hi all. This is Sai from working in Bangalore. Presently, I'm in Telangana from place called Varangal. So I'm a little nervous because I was not talking in book club from past so many days. Yesterday I was getting one text from Supra, like I was really missing book club. So I was sure like why I'm missing it, but I was not able to make it due to some other reasons. I don't want to make those all reasons. Who write or may not write, also same. The thing was like I just want to ask few questions like why we write to-do list. So when I asked this question to myself, so I just was answering to itself that to finish my works faster. So then next question raised to me like why my to-do list is bigger. So the next question came to me was I was lazy. So then I understood like when I was trying to understand. So then I was asking myself five different questions. The first question which I felt was like why I'm making so complicated my to-do list. So the thing why we make our to-do list very complicated was like we feel that it is something which we can't do. So the first thing which we feel was like why we are not able to do, and if I do, what happens. So this is lot of mess creates when we want to do something. So I will just tell you one shortcut. If you want to do something, you just need to know why you want to do it exactly. So I want to join the book club. The main reason was I want to know the positive things what's happening in this world, and I want to be a positive person. So this why will motivate me to add the to-do list in such a way that I have to finish it. So in the same manner, so the next question which comes to me was why I make the tougher things last. So this is one of the complicated question. Everyone knows the answer, but they don't want to answer it. So I will answer it in one silly manner. So when you feel something tougher, start doing in the first. Why? Because if you do something tougher in the first, the whatever you do at the last, it will be more easy, and you will be more confident enough to do or finish your to-do list as soon as possible. And one more question I want to tell you was like when you are doing something to-do list, when you're preparing a to-do list, so try to focus on one thing that which you want to do at any cost. So once you start doing at that thing na, like that will keep you motivated. So I just want to explain one small scenario today. So I was working in some company where I works as a service. I used to deal with services things. So here what happens was everyone works for the targets. So I was a person like I always used to support my teams and all the things. But there is one person who always try to irritate me. So he was telling that he has lot of issues. So then I left my all my work and I started focusing on his issue. Why? Because he is some big personality. Once I solved him, so I was very happy and he was also very happy. So I just want to convey here one thing. If you have to-do list very bigger also, you start focusing on the thing which is more important now, and understand why that to-do list is written in your list. So if there is no reason, you will never be writing it. There is some reason for it. So try to understand the reason more. The thing what happens in our age was we know the reasons, but we does not spend much time on the reasons. Try to spend more time on the reasons why you are writing and why you are thinking about it. Once you start understanding it now, you will really enjoy it. The reason why I kept the name of my topic was how to enjoy your to-do list. To-do list is one of the good lists which you write in your life, and try to fill one by one. If you start filling one by one na, like every day I have a to-do list of minimum 20 things. So at least if I sleep, I will be filling it minimum of 15 to 16. Without that, I won't be feeling sleeping. The first thing which I have in my to-do list was reading a book. So that is one thing which always makes me happy. When I read something na, I feel like I was doing something which is better than myself. Yesterday I learned something different, today I'm going to learn some more different. So that is one to-do list which makes I enjoy. And one more thing was talking to my mom. I never miss to talk to my mom, even it is a busy scheduled day also. If I miss to talk to my mom, I'll talk to my mother, or I will talk to my father, sorry. So I understand like the why. So I started enjoying my to-do list. I hope you all will be enjoying one day. Definitely you'll be enjoying. I'm sure on that. Thank you.
Amazing, Sai. Thank you so much for sharing. I was really enjoying your talk after so long I've listened to you. And Sai covered a very important aspect of communication as well, which in the end I will give you something so secret, which you can really apply in your real life. And Sai took one of the pointer, which you can tell me in the later coming minutes while other people speak. Wonderful, Sai. It was amazing to hear you. More to come. Awesome. So we'll go to the next speaker then. Mohini, I am spotlighting you.
Hi,
Yep.
Kiran. Hi, Sai. You stole my topic, by the way.
Now Mohini has tough job.
Yeah, so now I have to think of new points. But yeah, that was awesome sharing. I think, Sai, it's very important. You really need to enjoy your to-do list. Initially, you will not, trust me, but then later, as in when you start doing it, it'll be like, whoa, nasha ho jata hai, that you need to write to, otherwise nahi chalega kaam. So yeah, so I'll start on my topic. So today's topic is about eating that frog, or how to stop procrastination. So, but if you really think of it like this, then you actually cannot stop procrastinating. You keep procrastinating on some or the other task. So you need to think how creatively you can procrastinate. So you need to stop procrastinating on the things which are important, and you can continue procrastinating on the things which are not important in your life. So we're going to go through a few of the points. So I've not completed the book right now. It's Eat the Frog. So I've not completed this book yet, but a few chapters which I've read. So I'll just try to share whatever learnings I've got from here. And I've actually started practicing it from last 1 week, and I can share those experiences as well. So the first point is you need to set the table. So as Sai mentioned, that we need to know a why, that why you want to do specific activity. Without that why, you cannot create a to-do list. You cannot actually move ahead. So first thing you need to do is write it down. So there are, I forgot the name of the person, but he mentioned that you need to carry 2 books with you. So one book which you are reading it, and the second book you need to write it down. To write anything. So even I carry a notebook with me wherever I'm sitting with my laptop. So I'll be jotting down whatever learnings I'm getting, or if I'm attending some meetings, so I'll just keep writing that in that notebook. So carry those 2 things. And writing it down, why it helps is because in when you write it down, right, so suppose when you're thinking something, so it'll all be very muddy, it'll be little hazy in your mind. But when you're driving, suppose, so if you're not able to see things clearly, you'll not be able to drive your car properly, right? So that's the reason why when you write your goals down, you are able to visualize your future. So that's when writing your goal helps. And just writing the goals and then keeping your book aside doesn't help. You need to keep revisiting that book and keep checking on, okay, how far you have progressed. And you need to set certain deadlines to it, like we said, right? Like in 1 month I need to lose 3 kg and 5 kg. So you need to have some key results, you need to have some deadlines to be there. And then try to list down what all you need to achieve that goal. Like suppose if you want to start doing yoga, and if you don't have a yoga mat, or you don't have your gym clothes, then how are you going to do it? Then next day you'll definitely not have the motivation to do it. So try finding out that what you actually need to be there. Suppose if you want to become a senior software engineer or something of that quality, so what all do you need? So you need to talk to people and try to understand that what things you need in order to be there. So I think that way you can plan it in a better way, and try to break it into an individual task. So instead of having big tasks, try to make small goals. And to-do list is something which you do daily, right? So you cannot have bigger goals in your daily things. So you need to try and minimize, try make it as small as possible. Like I remember, I think Sai Vineet or Sashi, I think Sashi mentioned, right? He started doing his, the workouts. He used to do only 1 minute. He used to read only for 1 minute. So even those small steps, adds on to your future goal. So start doing that. And first and the most important thing is take action immediately. So that's the first thing you need to do in order to be there. Okay, so and the other thing which I've started doing is it's an ABCD rule. So what you need to do is that you need to create your to-do to-do list in such a way that certain tasks which are like, I mean, the author says that there are 20% of the tasks which determines 80% of our productivity, or which determines 80% quality of our time. So we need to focus on those 20% tasks which are important, and that you can, and Vijay also says, I think we need to try doing that in the morning, in the first hour itself, so that you have eaten that frog, so now you're free. So all the small things you can continue in your throughout your day, but the first important things which are there, which contributes into your goals or which add-ons to your future, you need to finish it in the first few hours. So it's the first thing, so you need to mark those as A. So that is like, if you don't do this, you are dead, you cannot progress ahead in your day, so you need to mark them as A. Then something like B, wherein you can, it's like, okay, if you do it, it's fine, but still it's the second priority task, so you need to try doing it. Then there are something like C, D, E. I mean, you keep classifying it as per your need, but as per your task. But I think when we start prioritizing the task in our to-do list, that's when we are able to achieve those tasks. So try doing that, and always remember that whenever you are doing something, just hold on for a minute and just think that, okay, is it really helping me? Will it help me to reach my goal nearer? Like, suppose if I'm just going and scrolling on the Instagram, so is it going to really help me out? So if not, stop it there itself. So don't procrastinate your task and start working on it. I'll be sharing more as and when I continue reading it. So yeah, I think that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mohini. It is really amazingly you covered with your own examples. That is where you got connected. And definitely people will start implement at least 10% of it. Then the success of the book club will be done.
Yeah,
Awesome.
agreed. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mohini. All right, so we'll move to the next speaker. Girija Jiju, you'll go next. I'll spotlight. Just a second. Right. Yep.
Hi, my name is Girija Sanapati. I'm working as a value investor and Scrum Master as a profession. So let me tell you a secret of the happiest minds in the world. The gap between their reality and expectation is minimum. That's why they are happy. But then what is the difference between the expectation and reality? There is a name for it, that is called disappointment. So is there a solution to minimize that gap? Yes. Realistic thinking minimizes that difference. So the first responsibility of a leader is to define the reality. But what is reality? How to know? So it is just a simple answer. Reality is what as it is at the present, the facts. But why? How to develop that realistic thinking? That I'll be covering today from the book Employee, from a chapter called Employee Realistic Thinking from a Pioneer book by John C. Maxwell. The book name is How Successful People Think. Let's understand the why of it. Why realistic thinking is required. So the advantage is it minimizes the downside risk. Every action that we do has a consequence. Realistic thinking helps to determine what those consequences could be and helps you plan for a worst case scenario. Second is it gives you a target and a game plan to simplify the practices and procedures which results in better efficiency to reach the target. Third is it acts as a catalyst for change. People who rely on the only on hope for their success rarely make any change as a priority. You cannot grow without change. So realistic thinking helps you to make changes in your current modus operandi. And fourth advantage is it provides security. Anytime you have thought through the worst case scenario that can happen and you have developed the contingent plan for it, you become more confident and secure. Fifth is you build credibility. Your realistic thinking helps you to buy into the leader's vision, and the best leaders ask realistic questions before casting the vision or before starting any action. Is the is my future state possible? Does this dream include everyone or just a few? Have I identified and articulate the areas that will make this dream difficult to achieve? So that builds more credibility for the real leaders. Sixth is realistic thinking provides a foundation to build on. So the value of a good idea is in using it. You cannot build a house in midair. It needs a solid foundation. Ideas and plans are same. They need something concrete on which to build. Realistic thinking provides that solid foundation. Advantage is friend, it is realistic thinking is a friend to those in trouble. If creativity is what you would do if you were unafraid of failure, then reality is dealing with failure if it happens. So it prepares you for the uh, worst trouble that you can face. And the last advantage, it brings dream to fruition. If you don't get close enough to a problem, you cannot tackle it. If you don't take a realistic look at your dream and what it will take to accomplish it, you will never achieve it. So so these are the all advantages or the why realistic thinking is required. Now, but how to build that realistic thinking? There are just 5 simple approaches that will help us build our realistic thinking in day-to-day life. The first is develop an appetite for truth. Men and women occasionally stumble over the truth, but most pick themselves up and hurry up as if nothing has happened. Our society finds truth too strong a medicine to digest undiluted. In its purest form, truth is bitter. So, so develop an appetite for truth. Second is do your homework. When you approach a problem, strip yourself of all the preconceived opinions and prejudices. Assemble and learn the facts of the situation. Make the decision which seems to you the most honest and stick to it. The thinking does not necessarily have to be original. It just have to be solid for that situation, for that time. Third is think through the pros and cons for before starting. Take time to really examine the pros and cons of an issue to give you a strong dose of reality. Choose the course of action with the greatest number of pros and the least number of cons. Fourth is picture the worst case scenario, as I have mentioned earlier, by asking the questions. What if the sales fall short of the projection? What if our best player gets sick? What if all the colleges reject my application? What if the market goes really up? What if nobody shows up? So these are the few of the questions, similar questions we need to ask, the what if questions. Fifth is align your thinking with the resources. One of the keys to maximize a realistic thinking is to align your resources with your objectives. Once you know the gap between the reality and your desired future state, you can use your resources to fill them up. So these are the ways you can use to develop your realistic thinking. And make sure if you have a team, make sure everyone knows what to do in case of an emergency. So next time whenever you are doing something, ask yourself this question: am I building a solid foundation of facts so that I can think with certainty? So that's it from me today. Girija Senapati signing here. So keep developing your realistic thinking based on the facts. That's my conclusion.
Thank you so much, Girija. In fact, Girija is one person which I see that he has been following John C. Maxwell books for almost a year, because every time he comes up, he started with 15 Laws of Growth, which Vijay started with. Then he moved to, I think, Today Matters. Which book have you covered, Girija? Can you just put a list of names? John C. Maxwell's.
Today Matters, 15 Laws of Growth. Now How Successful People Think. So all
Awesome.
are series. Yeah.
Superb. Thank you so much for adding a lot of value, because whatever you shared right now, it is a very thin line. If people can understand that and start applying it, it will really help you to remove the clutter of your thoughts and start applying in the real life as well. So all the points are very deep and very, very profound, whatever he shared. So thank you so much, Girija, for adding value. All right. Great. We'll move to the next speaker. Vishal, you will go next. Spotlight.
Yes, Kiran. Am I audible?
Yes, loud and clear. Right.
Okay. Good evening, friends. Today I'm going to share something which I read in the book Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill. I'm going to share some of the takeaways of a first chapter called Desire. So what is desire? Desire is the starting point of any achievement. Okay. We should have a burning desire to achieve anything. We should not only just hope or wish to get something. We should really go and have a burning desire and achieve it. the author mentions some of the 6 steps to change and change yourself completely in a better way to achieve your desires. So first step is have. Okay, so he talks about money, but these 6 steps can be applied for anything what you want to achieve. So first step is have an exact amount of money what you intend to have. So, or like what you desire. Second step is have uh, a definite plan for the return what you want to give. Suppose if I want if I want $1,000, or if I want 1 crore, what I'm going to give back in return, okay? Or if I want to lose my weight, okay, how much exercise I will do. Have a uh, definite plan what you want to lose, or like what you want to give back. Third point is have a definite date, okay? As Mohini mentioned, it should be definite. uh, okay, and tell to yourself that by this date I'll be achieving this, or by this date I'll have this much amount of money with me. Okay, next is plan and put the plan into action. Don't procrastinate. Fifth step is write down. Okay, so you have to write down the exact amount of money what you have to what you desire to have, and what you are ready to give in return, and the date what you want to have the money with you, and read it twice a day and loudly, and believe in it and feel it. Okay, and I want to share one of the story which is written by Napoleon in this chapter. He talks about a warrior and how he burnt his ship. So he wanted to go to his an enemy's country, and he loaded his soldiers and equipments with him, and he went to that country. And when he reached there, situation, and finally uh, they won the battle. So they burned their own ship. So guys, I want to share one of my personal story how I burnt my own ship. Okay, believe me, I didn't read the book and burnt my ship. uh, I read this, I heard this long back, maybe 2 3 years back, but I want I followed all the steps and I got what I really wanted to get it. So last year, that there was a lot of job crunch. Okay, and I wanted to change a job. I was having a job, but I wanted a change in my job. So one, I was trying to search jobs since 3 or 4 months, since June. I was not getting any job or not even a call. What happened finally, one day I burnt my ship by putting down the paper. uh, okay, so I was following all the steps. Okay, I was writing down that I was writing down 2 or 3 companies where the job opportunities were there, and I was also writing down okay, how much amount or what would be my CTC. Okay, and I was feeling it by sending the mail to myself, saying that okay, so and so company, you are selected, and this will be your CTC. Okay, uh, what happened? I was not getting any call till after I resigned for almost 24-25 days, and one fine day I got 2 calls, and within 3 days I had totally 6 calls. Okay, so I had job of offer of 2 companies, so before my notice period. So guys, what I want to say is it really works. I don't know how it worked, but when today I was preparing for the session, so I could just correlate with my story as well. So how I followed all the 6 steps and achieved what I really wanted to achieve. Okay, I got more CTC compared to what I was writing, but the company is something different. That's all, Kiran. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to speak.
Awesome, Vishal. Loved your story. In fact, I think most of us have definitely applied this principle somewhere in our life. कहीं ना कहीं हमने apply किया है, फिर हम लोग गजनी बन जाते हैं. After applying, we
Right.
forget. I don't know why we forget. Apply कर लिया, फिर गजनी बन जाते हैं. We forget our own powers. And जब तक
Right.
crisis नहीं आती life में, we don't bring the crisis. वो बोलते हैं ना कि जब तक crisis नहीं है, तब तक आपको अपना power realize नहीं होता. कि मेरे पास भी power था. And that is so unfortunate because I see कि people who we all knew कहीं ना कहीं आपके लाइफ में आपने अप्लाई बिल्कुल किया है, बट अपने सपनों के लिए जब आप अप्लाई करने का मौका आता है, कहीं ना कहीं वी बिकम हम नेगोशिएट करते हैं, नहीं यार थोड़ा ये भी कर लेते हैं, वो भी कर लेते हैं, हमको ये भी एंजॉय करना है, वो भी एंजॉय करना है, सैक्रिफाइस बिल्कुल नहीं करना, बट फिर भी बड़े बड़े सपने रखने हैं. इट डज नॉट हैपन एक्चुअली. सो इफ यू सी इन रेट्रोस्पेक्ट, amazing example, Vishal. Loved your story. Thank you so much, Vishal, for sharing. Great. So while we move to our next set of speakers, I think what we'll do is I think few new people have joined. I see Priya has joined. I don't know if anyone else. Priya, if it is feasible for you, would you mind switching on your video and audio and share a short intro of yours? Name, who invited you, and where do you locate? If that is fine.
Sure, Kiran. Let me know if I'm audible.
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Yeah, so hi everyone. This is the first time that I've joined this book club, and I've been invited by Mohini. She is my flatmate, and Kiran. And I'm very excited to be part of this book club, and let us see how it's going to help me. And maybe probably later on, maybe I can add value to, just how everyone is adding here. And it's amazing listening to these stories. And coming to my professional life, I'm working as a consultant in Bangalore for 5 years. So yeah, that's it. Thanks, Kiran.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Priya. All right. Great. Anyone else did we miss for introduction? You can unmute and share quickly. If anyone we missed out.
We have Mohit, Vishal, and Deepak invited
think-
by Rizwana.
Mohit, we did have an introduction in the start. Mohit,
Okay.
you didn't introduce yourself, right, in the starting? Or did we miss out? Mohit, we can't hear you.
Yes, sir. Can I share my introduction?
Sure. Why not? Go ahead.
Okay. Thanks everyone for providing me opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Mohit. I belong to Bhatinda, Punjab, which is also known as City of Lakes. I did my graduation from BCom. I did my graduation BCom from Punjab University Patiala, and currently pursuing chartered accountancy course and pursuing my application from my local hometown. My hobby is reading and writing, and that is also.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mohit, for introducing yourself. In fact, the best part I see is Mohit is new. उसके साथ 2-3 लोगों को और लेके आया. अच्छा, मैं भी पढ़ूंगा क्या? मैं अकेले थोड़ी ना पढ़ूंगा. तुम दोनों भी आओ. दोस्तों को भी लेके आया पढ़ाने के लिए. Very nice. Good to see your excitement, Mohit. Amazing. Thank you so much for introducing yourself. All right. Anyone else did you miss out for introduction? I hope not. Supra, did we cover from your side, everyone?
That's what Mohit, Vishal Mittal, and Deepak Gupta. Not
विशाल ने
sure.
तो बता दिया. दीपक ने भी I think introduced to the
Okay,
starting.
okay then. I think 3 of them are done, and couple of folks have
Okay.
not joined, so that's okay. Yeah.
ठीक है. All right. Thank you, Supra. So guys, if you by any chance you miss out, don't hesitate. Please message me. I'll bring you up so that you can at least introduce yourself and we can have an introduction of you. I see Harsha raising his hand. Harsha, do you want to speak or share something? I see that you have raised your hand. Harsha, you can switch on the video and unmute yourself as well in case you want to speak. Okay, maybe Harsha has some bandwidth issue. All right. So while we go to the next set of speakers. Yeah, Harsha, we can hear you.
Yeah, like I'm Harsha, I'm from Bangalore. Yes, currently I'd like to share some of the incidences which have. Hello, can you hear me?
Harsha, your voice is little breaking. I'm not sure for others. It's not
Hello.
clear. Harsha.
Yeah,
Little better.
I'm Harsha. I'm from Bangalore. Like, if you want me to share, I can share one of the books which I've read recently. The Mindful
All right.
Geek.
All right.
The book I have read is Mindful Geek, in which I have understood regarding the importance of mindfulness. In the first two speakers have spoke about being in the present and trying. They've told about the importance of giving importance to the works which we want to do. So similarly, in Mindful Geek also, the author has explained the importance of being in the present and psychologically, and that's somehow I lost the track of. I'll speak later.
Sure, Harsha, no issues. Harsha, are you joining for the first time, is it?
Yes, yes.
All right. Who invited you?
I've come across one of my friends.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you, Harsha, for joining. And you can ping me again later in case you find the bandwidth better and if you have your content prepared. Okay, we'll again pick you. You can speak. Okay. Thank you so much, Harsha. All right. So before we move ahead, Karthik, will you play Vijay's short teaser? So while I was talking about who Vijay is, who is the founder of Peak Impact Mentorship and where did this cause started and growing, you will just hear a short teaser of what happens in the weekend where most of us join and learn and share others as well. So Karthik, you can play.
Technical knowledge is good, but if you do not add this knowledge with other skill set like communication skill, leadership skill, conflict handling skills, then what will happen, I'll tell you, your potential will be limited, which actually could have grown. And it's not very difficult. And that's where Peak Impact Mentorship came into picture and we started empowering people. We started giving taste to people. If I ask you, in last 1 year, how many days you fought with crisis in life? When I say crisis, either you're a married person, you're having stressful marriage for almost, just check it out. I'm just trying to, I'll make you think, let's reflect for some time so that you can start absorbing this data. Let's say you're married and just recall in the 12 months, how many days it went just in petty arguments, which eventually spoiled your mood for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or whatever. So on an average, the cycle which I know for most of the couple when I counsel them, one argument fight takes away 3 days from their life. For so many days you waste getting frustrated with the wrong job profile. Think upon it right now. Just think upon it. How many days went in just cribbing, frustrating yourself and irritated yourself? How many days? Check it out. The number says 30 to 40% of our time is going in wrong, and that is what I mean by crisis. So when I say crisis, I'm not talking about the major crisis. I'm not talking about you're laid off. I'm not talking about you're divorced. I'm not talking about your health has gone to a level where you're now struggling. That is a calamity rather. That's not crisis. That's a crisis converted to calamity. I want to give you back a 30% of time in your hand if you can properly use what I'm saying. How would you rate your trust levels right now? Check it out. How much trust do you believe your family trust on you, on your abilities to save them, on your ability to fulfill their dreams? How much trust your manager carries on your ability to execute the project? Ask your question to this yourself. How much trust would they carry? And how do you know how much they trust? If your manager don't have to review your project, he trusts you. If your spouse listens to you when you say we'll accomplish this and he do not make a ugly face, that means he trusts you or he trusts you. Very, very important. Secondly, how would you rate your joy levels? Presently, are you enjoying it or you're doing it only for the money purpose? If you're not doing it for money, if you're not enjoying it, anyway, you'll get frustrated very soon. That's the leads to third question. How would you rate your satisfaction level right now? Are you satisfied with what you're doing? Is it giving you a deep sense of satisfaction? So today night when I sleep, I'll have a deep sense of satisfaction.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karthik, for playing this. And this is where Vijay, every week he takes very important practical topics and he talks about it. And currently Vijay is taking care of the growth aspect of our life, where he has covered a lot of components, servo mechanism, the book Psycho-Cybernetics, and how you can reprogram your mind for whatever goal you want to set it to. And in fact, next week as well, Vijay has a wonderful topic to cover. So stay tuned for that as well. Awesome. So we'll now continue then. So Supra, will you go next? Shall I spotlight you?
No, Kiran, Shabina has raised. You take her and then I'll be going in a couple of minutes. Yeah.
All right. Shabina, if you can hear me. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hi. Yes.
Go ahead, Shabina.
So, hi. Yeah. So it is great when we apply the teachings of the books and we are able to accomplish our goals, right? but there are times when we are not able to accomplish our goals. So for a while, I would like you all to think about the times when you've set your goals, but then still you couldn't get through, right? That moment of time, we feel devastated. We feel that, it's the end of the world. Something like that, something similar to that happened with me when I was in my teenage and I was preparing for my medicals, and I prepared for 2 years and I couldn't get through. So as a teenager, how do you feel? I felt that nothing can be done now, and I'm good for nothing, I started cursing myself. And that moment of time, my mama ji, he was diagnosed with terminal illness. So my nani ji, she came to me, and the day my results were out, she came to me and she said that those 2 lines which she said, they have been my motivation throughout. Whenever I feel low, I just go back to these 2 lines. She said that, why are you fretting over this, right? She said, तुम्हारे पास वक्त है, मेरे बेटे के पास वक्त नहीं है. And I was, jolted with this line. I said, that's true. And after 10 months, my Mama ji expired. So I felt that, yes, the biggest gift of life is time, right? And there is a research which shows, and when we say that, we are in our 30s or we are in our 40s and we have lived our lives and now we cannot do anything new, right? But there is a research which says that after 20 years, your productivity starts after 20 years, because you tend to pass out from your college, from your schools, and you start working. So your productivity starts with 20 years and it goes on until the age of 70s or 80s. So still, even if you are in your 40s or 50s, you have a considerable amount of time to be productive, right? And this is why do we fret over these things when we don't accomplish our goals? Because when we set our goals, we try to focus only on the goals and forgetting the journey. Rather, during the course of our journey, we are learning a lot many things. We are meeting different people. We are having different experiences of life. No 2 individuals are similar, right? Because I will be different from my mother. I am different from my sister. My daughter will be different from me. My daughter is different from me. And how is that? Because nobody has the similar permutation and combinations of experiences, surroundings, environment, thoughts, and ideas. The ideas which generate in your mind will be different from the ideas which generate in my mind, right? And that is why we all are unique. 2 days back, I was watching a movie. It was on Amazon Prime, Carvan. So I felt that it gave me a glimpse of our own lives. The actor, he started his journey from Bangalore to Kochi, and through the course of his journey, he met different people, had different experiences, which changed his mindset altogether, which changed his career options altogether. And that is how that is how our lives are, right? Our lives are very similar to what was depicted in the movie. Rather than focusing on only on the goals, we tend to learn a lot during the course of our journey. So I would like to relate it to the sentence which, as a kid, when I learned it, I couldn't understand it. It is जो कृष्ण जी ने कहा है कि कर्म करते रहो, फल की इच्छा ना करो. So that was something I used to write in my essays, but I couldn't understand it. But now, as I am leading my life, as I am traversing this path, and I'm following the trajectory of my life, I feel that this how true this holds, right? Because during the course of our lives, we are learning a lot many things. If somebody gives you a degree of an MBA or an engineering degree, rather than a degree, you know that a degree is more important, or the path that you have followed, the 4 years of toils and labor, the hard work that you went through, that is more important. Something which we see, which we've seen in the movie 3 Idiots, right? The degree is not important, the path is important. So this is something we tend to forget. And with every challenge, we become a better version of ourselves. We become a better an improved version of ourselves, a stronger version of ourselves. So I think rather than focusing only on the destination, we should take with us whatever we have gained. With every individual is teaching us something, and even if he is not educated, he will still inspire you. He will still leave you with an impact in your life. So that is what I wanted to say.
That's
and
amazing, Shabina.
you never fail. You, even if you think that you have taken a wrong path, still like Edison said that I have not failed, I have found 10,000 ways that won't work. So even so, this line that karm karte raho phal ki ichha na karo, even this compels us to take actions. If we don't take actions, we are never going to learn that the path that we have opted for was favorable or not. So that, even if you're going on a wrong path, you'll know that is raste pe nahi jana hai. I'll have to, if you don't take action, you are never going to learn that, right? So yeah, that's it.
Wow, this is so amazing, Shabina. You really added a lot of value. I think the personal story that your cousin brother, I don't know who he was, he did not have time.
Mamaji. Yes, he
Mamaji,
was in his 40s and suddenly, yes, he died because of terminal illness. And that's why I feel that, life is very important. You have time.
Correct. We need to be grateful
Yes.
that we have time. Let's do something about it.
Right.
Amazing, Shabina. Thank you so much.
I finished before time, I think.
That's
Yeah.
the proper art of communication you have already applied.
So how much is the time duration? Like, I'm here for the second time only. It is for 4 minutes or 3 minutes? What is
3 minutes, Shabina. So it is 3 minutes. So while you're 2 minutes 45 seconds, you'll see a screen of that 15 seconds remaining, and then you can summarize the talk.
Okay. So this is from the book The Alchemist, and I forgot the name. We discuss it quite often. The Magic of Thinking Big. Yes, this is from these two books. The Alchemist is also a book which I read it in my college, and I couldn't understand it because of this reason, that why are you camouflaging a story in lessons in a story in fiction? Agar kuch batana hai to bata do seedha. But now I understand it more. Yes.
Awesome. Great, Shabina. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing
Thank you
your
so much.
story. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll move to the next speaker then. Supra, will you go next? Will you go now?
Sure, Kiran. Yeah.
All right. Let me spotlight.
Okay. Hi and good evening, everyone. So today I have chosen a different topic. I just realized that always getting into stories and reading a lot of leadership book is great, but we should little bit focus something on which you guys might be looking for, or it could be helpful for everyone. So today's topic is on developing confidence. Before I get into this topic, I would just like to give a gist about the author. You would have already heard about him, Dale Carnegie. So this is from his book, and today I'll not be touching on the entire session. It could be a series I'll be breaking into. So today we will be touching on the area and the point, confidence kahan se aata hai. We'll touch on a couple of facts which we all would be feeling and realizing when we come for public speaking. Yeah. In school, bachpan mein hota tha, right? When people have their birthdays, I mean, everyone, my birthday used to fall in summer, so it was never celebrated in school. Jab happy birthday kids used to sing, do you still, anyone of you used to get fear in your stomach? Because that is the fear when it starts. I mean, that's what I could recollect to connect with all of you. So that's where the fear starts. If someone sings happy birthday for you, you're happy, you're excited, still that fear is there, right? Do you know why? Because we are in front of a larger audience and we are worried and we are very conscious. So this is one of the fact that we are very conscious कि बहुत सारे लोग मुझे wish भी कर रहे हैं, still I have the fear, right? It starts from there and the journey goes on to your college presentation, right? That is the place where you cannot escape. You have to give that presentation to at least get the 20, 30, whatever basic marks you need to get, right? So there also you do the second thing is that you prepare so much and you try to mug up everything and go and present it. Second fact. So which leads to, again, the different kind of fear. You worry that you are not worried your friends will score more or less. You're worried that you're going to speak in front of that 5 or 10 people, or it could be 100 or 200. Yeah, this is the second thing. You are never worried about the mark in college, for sure, when it is about public speaking. But when it is about writing the paper, yeah, everyone needs that 9 and 99, or could be how much, I am not sure. But when it is about public speaking, you make sure you push your friend in front and you go towards the back, right? It happens with all of us, right? Yeah, so I was thinking this is the second fact. Coming to the third, author says that it's really good to have little bit of fear. Anyone who speaks very, very good, just go and ask that person. वो कभी नहीं बोलेगा कि मैं सच में अच्छा speaker हूँ, उसको भी fear होता है. I'm speaking to you and I still have that little fear inside me. Why? Here the author says that little fear is good, and it only happens in the initial 3-4 sentences of your line. But the moment you have an eye contact with your public and you just know them, then the flow becomes very normal and you don't have to memorize your talk and come. Up talk, prepare kar lo. First 3 lines will be fearful, and because you will try to recollect, and the moment you take the stage, it is yours. So author says that fact is also good. And the fifth is, it's not like you are a good speaker, because you speak little good, you can prepare and you can present. Yeah, every single one is a good speaker. What is missing is practice, practice, and practice. Author says this. The reason is, today I step into the book club, I speak, and I make a gap of very long, and then again I come. It again starts from the first level of fear. So when I am speaking to all of you guys, it could be physically in front of you, or nowadays everything is virtual. So what I make sure, first I switch on my video and I try to look eye to eye contact with every single one who is looking at me, and make sure how they are reverting their expressions to me. That gives me a forum or a stage where I can settle down. So settling down is the fourth fact which you need to do. The moment you settle down, just take half a minute to 1 minute. Don't worry about your topic at all. Take a minute, be friendly to your audience as much as you can. Start looking at their facial expression, eyes at your public, and then the 3 minutes or the 2 minutes is for you. So whatever you speak, that is the content which is your public is going to like. So these are the 4 facts which I wanted to touch today. And thank you so much, Kiran, for giving me an opportunity to speak. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Supra. It was really validation pointers Supra covered, because while you speak, एक भी pointer आपने अगर apply कर लिया, तो the magic you will feel inside, and that will showcase in your personality and the way you speak. Amazing. Thank you so much, Supra, for sharing those points. All right, great. So we'll move to the next speaker. Rohit, you're online, kya? Rohit.
Yes, Kiran, I'm here. Hi.
Okay, all right. So let me spotlight Rohit. A very interesting topic. Yeah, Rohit, go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening, myself Rohit. Yeah, so it's been a long time. And so let me introduce myself also. I'm Rohit, and I've been working for telecom industry for 5 years. And I'm graduated from NIT Bhopal. And currently, I'm working with one of the best telecom equipment manufacturer in Bangalore. And I've been here in book club since I think almost a year. And yeah, so I'm very excited for my topic today. My topic is something that we all can relate because we all are working. So Kiran, I will share my screen, and
Sure,
then I will play my video. Okay. So let me share my screen, and let me know when you see it. Okay.
it's visible.
I hope it is visible, right?
Visible.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll play.
When I say financial independence, is very simple. That what if the income from your wealth is more than what your income per hour is, right?
Just pause for a moment. Maybe you, some of you couldn't understand this one. He's saying the income from your wealth is more than the income that you earn per hour. Okay, just listen after this.
That is the best definition of financial independence. That if the money that you have makes more money than what you can make per hour, you have really freed up yourself from doing whatever you have to do, right? And that freedom is what gives you these amazing choices of doing whatever you want to do with life. You can be starting up, you can decide to take a sabbatical, you can do anything with yourself once you've kind of moved to that place where you've caused that. And I think most people unfortunately get domesticated with monthly income. I've seen that. I remember going to Dubai once in this mall and there is a shark tank in the mall, and I dived inside that and you feed the sharks. And I was like, I asked the guy who was feeding, saying that, hey, how are these sharks, which are this ferocious animals, behaving like domesticated dogs? And the guy just gave one line answer. We give food at the same time every day. Yeah. Now, this is a very interesting point to think about, that most of us in this world are like these sharks, that we are designed to do some wild things, but we are all domesticated by this monthly income that we expect every fixed time to come. And then never think about independence. We never think of becoming sharks again, right? We are becoming this timid, domesticated animals. And I'm kind of using crude language, but it's probably the better analogy to explain that financial independence is your ability to be wild again, to be able to do things that allows you to take risks and not worry about things versus kind of constantly be in the zone of having a P&L mindset versus a balance sheet mindset, right? Like if you remain P&L, you remain P&L.
Yeah. So that was it. I'll just add a couple of points here. So we all are victim of this one. Let me stop sharing this. Yeah. So we all get salary on a fixed time. That is first of every month, or maybe 25 or 26 or something like that. So we all are sharks. Some of us might not think that they are shark, but actually they are. The problem is that you have made your mindset something like that. यार मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता हूँ, मैं यार जॉब कर लूँ वही बहुत है यार, मेरे से वही नहीं होता, ठीक है? But the thing is that this guy, great CEO, he said like we all are wild animal from inside, but we are domesticated with our job, with our salary, with our responsibility, all those things. We have so many things to say that यार मेरे पास तो बहुत सारी responsibility, मैं risk नहीं ले सकता यार, बिल्कुल नहीं. They never think about other options. Like there are so many people here in this book club. They are doing their job and they are also doing something else, right? Something they really passionate about, right? There are so many people I can see, and other than this book club, there are so many people out there also who do things. But if you have this mindset that यार मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता हूँ, I cannot take risk, then how will you do these things? Yeah, this guy is using this very good word, wild sharks. We are sharks actually, but we never think like that. थोड़ा सा शार्क से थोड़ा सा नीचे आ जाए, मछली बन जाओ, but we think यार अरे नहीं यार अपन से नहीं होने वाला, ठीक है? The thing is that there is psychology that this guy, this Russian psychologist Pavlov, he experimented with dogs. He gave food every time and he rang the bell. Okay, and one day what happened, after so many days of iteration, he didn't get the food. He just rang the bell, and what happened? These dogs, they were saliva was falling down from their mouth because they were expecting this food, right? But this guy never gave the food. And this is exactly what happened with her. Our psychology, our mindset has designed in such a way that यार एक तारीख को salary आने वाली है, बस हो गया, अपनी life set है. But we all know that when the salary came, it go in hours. We all are fighting for a whole month, and this is the reality, right? And this is what we all are working for. We all are focusing our mind, and we all have put it all the energy into that thing. We are not thinking to go beyond those things. So this video was all about that. Just think about it and think like a shark, that you are a shark. You have designed to be wild. That's all from my side. Thank you, Kiran. Over to you.
Amazing, Rohit. In fact, I love the analogy. In fact, first thing I realized कि most of us do not believe that we are sharks. मतलब वो भी चले गए. हमको लगता है कि हम छोटी सी प्यारी सी मछली है, हम लोग वहीं पे खुश हैं. We do not know that we are still a shark. First of all, the first step is that you realize that you are a shark. उसके बाद आप अपने power को realize करोगे. But Rohit shared such a profound video. In fact, he was sharing me initially over LinkedIn. He shared me, and I realized this is what we need. ये दिखाओ लोगों को. Amazing, Rohit. Thank you so much.
And I thought that we should also watch this kind of videos with this kind of motivation, like this kind of definition. I heard so many definitions of financial independence, but this is one of the best explanation. The money that you have makes more money, right? Then I think you are financially independent. You don't have to work for the money, right? Your money will work for you. Now you can work for yourself. So this is the best.
रोहित, आपको एक क्वेश्चन है, कौन से बुक? Add it. ये रोहित का बुक है.
Oh my God, what a coincidence! I didn't know. कौन सा क्वेश्चन है? Which book? Okay.
Chat में.
Sabina, I think this is not from the book. I'll share the link in the chat, and this is from the LinkedIn. And I hope it is now visible in the chat.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Rohit. I think let's move next then. All right. Great. So we'll move to the next speaker. Karthik, you want to go next?
Yeah, Kira.
Okay.
So you're able to see my screen. I mean, sorry.
Yeah,
Before I show
spotlight.
the screen, at least. Okay. So working all day, I'm getting those languages only. Okay. So hi guys, this is Karthik and Sana. We both work in Bangalore, been in IT industry for a while now. So today I'm going to share one interesting book from this. I hope you are able to see. It's about dream, struggle, and victory. It's actually written by Gabriel Gonzalez. I think she's a daughter of Ruben Gonzalez. Okay, she wanted to write this book when she was 10 because Ruben, if you don't know about Ruben Gonzalez, he is a 4-time Olympian, 4-time or 6-time Olympian, and he has his very famous book. Other book is The Courage to Succeed, right? So in this book, actually, the Gabriel, right? She talks about she has interviewed 100 Olympians, okay, about 3 questions, okay. When did they get a dream to be part of Olympics? Second thing, what was the struggle, right? And third thing is, how did they feel when they were victorious, when they won that Olympics in whatever sports they were, right? She has there are so many topics. I'll share some 5 to 6 Olympian stories and what was their struggle and what we can take away from that, okay, by sharing the PPT. So I quickly share this. I hope you are able to see. Okay. Yeah. So how to think like an Olympian, right? To realize your dreams, right? So going to the first Olympian, it's about Jim Craig, who won 1980 ice hockey in Lake Placid. So what his thing is, believe in your dreams, okay? Believe that your dream is possible. Why? Because this guy was part of a US team, and during the final game, they were playing against Soviet, okay? And Soviet Union, they were like world champions in ice hockey, okay? So who do you think will win automatically? It's natural, right? That Soviet will win. But that's where the game changed. It's US who won the game. And this guy was a goalie. And he like saved 36 out of 39 shots. Can you believe it? And US won 4-3. They had only 6 months of experience before playing this game. Okay, it's very unnatural, right? What is the thing he wants to tell? Because he had believed in his dream. Okay, what was the struggle he had faced? His mom was going through very hard stage during his training days. That I think she was having cancer, and it was very hard for him during to do his training, and that was his struggle. That's what he shares. So I believe in your dream, that is, it's possible, right? What is the second Olympian? Okay, so you're able to see, right? This guy, in 1992 he won in swimming, right? So what does he want to share? Like, what was his story? If you see the struggle, right? He had bronchitis, right? And he used to be in his swimsuits initially. That's what he used to say. And on later point of time, he was like, he tells, harness your drive, right? Harness your belief, your adrenaline, all that you have got, put it all to use, right? And he also shares, have too many dreams, right? He had so many dreams, but he has not achieved all, but he has achieved many of his dreams, right? And he also tells, like Sabine also was sharing, enjoy the journey, okay? Not just the goal, enjoy the journey, okay? So believe in yourself and never stop dreaming. Have too many dreams, okay? Never stop dreaming. And who is a third Olympian? So if you see this guy, he won 2004 boxing, okay? Actually, he participated in 2000 Olympics, but he couldn't get through. So he again kept trying, and he became part of 2004 Olympics, okay? And during his training days, he was dominating in his old division, and he was very successful in it. But what was the struggle he had to face? He had to move up the ladder and fight with bigger guys, okay? So if you have to fight with bigger guys, what does it mean? You have to put extra work, you need to have extra faith, and you have to make so many other sacrifices, right? So that's what he wants to share. Building your masterpiece takes patience, okay? It can be months, it can be years, okay? You have to build your masterpiece. It doesn't happen automatically, right? And one more thing he wants to share is, no matter how hard you have to work for your dream, right? When you reach it, you will know it was worth it. Okay, So who is the next Olympian? Okay, she was part of 2002 and 2006 in snowboarding, right? So she also like other Olympians had developed this dream in her early childhood. But what was her struggle? So she had tried many sports and she didn't know which exactly to be part of, right? And finally, when she tried snowboarding, she followed her intuition. She trusted her heart. Okay, this was like so many people were giving different recommendations to try what sport, but she believed in her intuition and her heart. And what was her struggle is like working with media. Okay, so whenever she used to play, she used to think, what will media ask and what answer to give to the media, right? You know, right, how it works in with media. So that was her biggest struggle in her mind. Okay, and after winning that Olympics that year, when she was in the podium and she was so happy on in that. And after 10 days, she was competing in her next World Cup that was happening in Russia. And when she was practicing, suddenly she, like 10 days later, after she won the Olympics, she broke down and she was like, tears started rolling down her cheeks. And she realized that she had actually made her dream come true. She was a victor, right? So that was very nice. And that is what she wants to say. She trusts your heart, right? And who is the last but one Olympian? He is a cousin of Ruben Gonzalez, right? So if you see all these people who you saw till now, they all developed their dream during their childhood. But this guy, he developed a dream at the age of 33, okay? And which coach will accept you as a trainee at the age of 33 in the field of sports, right? And at 33, when he, seeing Ruben Gonzalez, he got inspired and he wanted to play luge again. And this guy was from Houston, Texas. You know, Houston, Texas, weather will be usually hot. But in order to undergo the training, he had to move to Calgary. Okay, that has very cold weather. Okay, that was his struggle. It was not easy for him to adjust to the temperature and at the age of 33. And he left job. He started his architectural firm, which had limited funding. And because of limited income, limited funding, he had limited training. He had to undergo limited training. What does it mean? Have more injuries, right? So he had to struggle a lot at his age. Okay, what does he wants to tell us? Take a chance or else you will live with regret, right? Pay the price and put in the work, right? Okay, so on the last Olympian, okay, she was part of 2002 Salt Lake City in skiing, and 2002 and 2006. And she also developed in her this dream during her childhood, and she was part of Ukraine. Okay, what was her struggle? Okay, Ukraine did not have very effective athletic development system. Okay, and because Ukraine had not won any medals, any cups till then, so obviously you can't expect very good system, right? But what did she do? She didn't focus on her struggles. She always drew strength from her goal. It was easy for her to say there is no system, there is no medals. Ukraine has not won any game till now. But instead of focusing on the struggle, okay, she drew a lot of her strength from her goal. That's how she was able to win this. So finally, what I wanted to share is it's a 3-number law. Okay, it's a dream, struggle, and victory. Victory doesn't come before struggle. Don't compare your struggles with somebody else's victory, or don't compare your victory with somebody else's struggle, right? And before closing, I want to tell, struggle, even if you don't have dream, some people may still struggle. It's like swimming versus drowning, right? If you want to drown in water, do you think it will be easy? No, right? You still have to struggle. If you want to swim, okay, again, you have to struggle. But there you have a direction and a place to go, right? Why don't you choose your struggle, right? Choose your struggle. And yeah, ultimately that once you become a victor, that will be worth it. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Amazing, Karthik. 5 different stories, 5 different points, and covered all the overall 3 points with a beautiful connection of the dots. And then ask the question to the audience: choose your own struggle. कहीं ना कहीं तो जाना ही, या फिर नीचे जाओ या फिर ऊपर जाओ. Awesome. Amazingly covered. Thank you so much, Karthik, for sharing in such an amazing talk. Loved it. Great. So we'll move to the next speaker. Sahana, you can go next.
Spotlight us. I think
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. As Karthik introduced, we're Karthik and Sahana. So I think someone has commented saying that it was like watching a movie. In fact, I felt it the same way when he was sharing, telling me this is what I have prepared. I was like, okay, I was expecting, it's just going to be like he will share stories, but so relatable. So we have all heard about elevators or used elevators, right? Anybody here who hasn't used an elevator? I guess all of us would have used, right? So what does an elevator do? It takes you up and down to whichever floor you want to go. And if we compare ourselves, where do we stand in our relationships when it comes to an elevator principle? Are we taking people up or are we taking them down? So today I want to add something. I mean, I want to, share something from Winning with People book. I'm sharing after almost a month. Like Supra said, yes, I still have that nervousness in me. But yeah, I'm going to break that bubble and come out. So I'll just share my screen. One second. Yeah. Okay, so the elevator principle, are we lifting up people or are we taking them down? So yeah, so we sometimes tend to add value without our knowledge and by lessening people's burden. Sometimes we unintentionally also try to put someone down, which is not exactly our thought. So the author says there are 4 kinds of people, and these are, I'll be talking about some simple math today. So the first one is, some people add something to your life and we enjoy them. So these are people who are lifters and adders. So these people, they desire to help others intentionally. And the book mentions it's got a very good quote. So do all the good you can to all the people you can in all the good ways you can and as long as you ever can. So can you see all the cans there? Because it is possible to elevate people by encouraging them. And we just need to be a friend of a friendship that consists of just a heart-to-heart relationship and being a willing ear and understanding and having that heart of acceptance. I want to take this example. So a couple of weeks back, we did our housewarming ceremony, and Kiran was working that day, although it was a Sunday. But he made sure he'll come stay with us. And in fact, it was, I don't know which team was playing. I mean, India cricket match was going on. And since he's a fan of cricket, he stayed here, sat along with Karthik, my father, my father-in-law. All the 4 of them were just enjoying that time, So basically, although he came late, he stayed up and made it up for it. And he actually did not expect something from it. I don't think he actually did. Did he expect something? No, he spent some good time with us. And that is going an extra mile to, make us feel happy. So the next one is, some people subtract something from life and we tolerate them. In relationships, receiving is very easy, but giving is the most difficult thing. It's not just in relationship, but in everything. So the sad thing is, people unintentionally do this, and we don't have a choice and we tolerate them. So we need to be the less of a subtractor and be a more of an adder. And the next one is, some people multiply something from life, we value them. This is a huge thing because see, anyone can be an adder, anybody can be a lifter, but it takes desire, intention, skill, and some amount of strategy to become a multiplier. And these people make a difference in some people they meet, or they bring bigger ideas, they serve by with their heart. And biggest example is Vijay. The content he delivers in PIM is worth lakhs and crores, but his time that he's giving is so precious. So he has a heart to serve the bigger crowd. He has a huge vision, and that's how he's able to multiply that. And the last one is, some people divide something from life and we avoid them. These are people we get to meet on a daily basis. These people will take you down to the basement, put you down to and put you down so often. We definitely get to meet such people, right? So I keep telling this: if you can't encourage someone, it's absolutely fine, but don't discourage someone, because those that will damage relationships. So deep down, even the most negative person wants to be a lifter, and good people are half bad and bad people are half good, so it's okay. And this is the simple math. So we need to take others to a higher level, and this is what the lifters do. The first one is, lifters commit themselves to daily encouragement. Like I said, in fact, even in the book club, when we like something, we definitely comment and say, this was nice, this is what I like, this was my takeaway. So that's what a lifter does. The second one is lifters know the little difference that separates hurting and helping. So these are two different things. The way we portray our statement matters, because some people get offended. So it's better to help rather than to hurt. The next one is lifters initiate the positive in a negative environment. Obviously, wherever we go, we obviously hear COVID or anything for that matter, it takes one step from us to be more positive. And the last one is lifters understand life is not a dress rehearsal. You know, the lifters don't wait for a day or a time or an auspicious date to help someone. They act it at that moment. And you know, let's change relationships positively and open ourselves to more. And let's see, let's decide what kind of a person we want to be. So this is what I wanted to share.
Wow, such an amazing talk, Sahana. In fact, all of us will be reinforcing our relationship skills and adding value. And the way you project, it's so simple and so profound and so impactful. Truly enjoyed it, Sahana. Thank you so much for sharing this. Both of you add really a lot of value to all of us in our life. Thank you so much. Great. So Nikita, will you go next? Shall I spotlight?
Oh, can you hear me, see me? Yes, I think so. Okay, I was just typing a comment for Sahana and you just caught me in the middle of that. Okay, I am going to talk about something related to what Vijay talked about last Saturday. So he talked about motivation. And I came across this statistics which said 85% people who are employed are unhappy in their jobs. And why is that so? Most people are unhappy because they lack the motivation. They don't want to go to work Monday morning. Oh my God, nahi jana aaj. So, and why do we lack that motivation? This is a story that I learned very early on. I must have been, I don't know, 10 saal ki hogi. And मेरी मम्मी ने मेरे हाथ में एक पैकेज थमा दिया था. I was going to school and she was leaving for work. उन्होंने कहा ये कोई मंगेश शिंदे करके आ रहा है बंदा घर पे, उसके हाथ में बस ये पैकेज दे देना. I was like okay. 9 बज चुके थे, वो बंदा आया नहीं था and I was getting late for school. So दादाजी घर पे थे, मैंने दादाजी के हाथ में वो पैकेज दे दिया और कह दिया दादाजी कोई मंगेश शिंदे आ रहा है, उसको ये पैकेज दे देना बस. So my dadaji was like, क्या है पैकेज में? मैंने कहा पता नहीं क्या है. So he said मंगेश कौन है? मैंने कहा पता नहीं कौन है. It's like उसको क्यों देना है? मैंने कहा मुझे नहीं पता कि वो उसका क्या करेगा. मैंने कहा मुझे नहीं पता दादाजी. He's like तो पता नहीं तो ये पैकेज कहाँ से आया? मैंने कहा पता नहीं, मम्मी ने मेरे हाथ में दिया, कहा मंगेश आएगा तो दे देना. तो बस आप मंगेश आएगा ना दे देना. He said मैं नहीं ऐसे कोई पैकेज यहाँ से वहां करने वाला, उसमें क्या है, किसका है, मंगेश कौन है, पता नहीं, मैं नहीं करने वाला. मैंने कहा क्यों पका रहे हो दादाजी, मतलब क्या फर्क क्या पड़ रहा है, मम्मी ने दिया है ना, उसमें कौन सा बॉम्ब या ड्रग्स है, मेरी मम्मी क्या टेररिस्ट थोड़ी ना है, क्यों नहीं दोगे. सो ही वाज लाइक ठीक है मानता हूँ तेरी मम्मी टेररिस्ट नहीं है, लेकिन मैं भी तो गधा नहीं हूँ. मैंने कहा क्या मतलब आप गधे नहीं हो. सो ही सेड ऐसा काम सिर्फ गधे करते हैं कि उनके पीठ पे कुछ थमा दिया, पीछे से डंडा मारा, वो चल पड़े. उसमें क्या है, क्यों है, किसका है, कब जाना है, उसका वहां जाके उसका क्या होगा, उससे उस गधे का कोई लेना देना नहीं. बस डंडा पड़ा चल पड़ा, आगे जाके रुक गया, वापस डंडा पड़ा चल पड़ा. ही सेड ऐसे गधों वाले काम मैं नहीं करता, मैं इंसान हूँ, आई रिस्पेक्ट माई सेल्फ, आई रिस्पेक्ट माई इंटेलेक्ट, मैं ये गधों वाले काम नहीं करने वाला. एंड अगर मेरी मानो तो तुम भी ऐसे गधे वाले काम करना छोड़ दो. एंड आई वाज लाइक व्हाट. सो he said सोचो तुम स्कूल जाती हो, हर रोज आके परेशान करते हो, होमवर्क नहीं करना, ये पसंद नहीं, वो पसंद नहीं. क्यों? अगर if you focus on what are you going to gain out of that, why are you studying this, why is this homework going to benefit you, I think you learn to enjoy it. But if you just focus on teacher ने दिया है करके वापस करना है, then you will not like it. And now if we think about our lives right now, most people who are employed, the 85% I'm talking about who are unhappy in their jobs, sometimes or most of the time they lack motivation is because they don't know why they're doing what they're doing. So knowing the why is really important because that is what motivates us in our life. So let me just summarize very quickly with a video so that it is visual because I like to see things in front of me. So As my Dadaji said, you can either be a gadha or you can be a person with intellect, knowing his why. So, jaise gadhe ko, he doesn't care about what, who, why, how, where, when. He doesn't know and he doesn't care. But if you're a person and if you know the why behind your motivation, you will be able to think about what will I gain from this? What will be the impact on the organization as well as on the wider society? And that will inform your decision whether the task at hand, is it worth doing in the first place? And if you decide it's worth doing, then why should I do this? Can somebody else do it? Can it be delegated? And what would happen if you didn't do it? So the lost opportunity cost. And is this the most effective or efficient way of doing it, or is there a better way of doing it? So you can either be a gadha or know your why, know your motivation behind doing something and be empowered. So let your why be your driver or let someone else's stick be your driver. You choose. So that was a lesson for me as a young child from my Dadaji. And it stayed with me. Every time I am asked to do something, and if I don't know why, I just refuse to do it, even from my boss. I don't take orders. When people tell me, ye kar dena, I just tell myself, main gadhi nahi hu, peeth pe kisi ne dala, danda mara, kar diya. It doesn't work like that. You tell me why, and why should I be the one doing it, then I might do it. But if I don't see the impact of whatever I'm doing, I will not waste my time on it. So know your why is the key message from it. Thank you.
Wow, so amazing, Nikita. Totally humorous, but still the message is so strong. Amazingly conveyed. Love the way you shared, Nikita. Thank you so much. Awesome. Sashi, you'll go next.
Sure, bro.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, one and all. Today's my topic was Power of Mastermind from Think and Grow Rich book. So this is the third time I'm reading this book. Every time I'm reading this book, I feel I'm not understanding anything. What this book is talking about, what the bullshit. I too understand only 15 to 20% of the content every time that I read. So initial time, when I read this book, I understand hardly 15 to 20%. So most of the time I used to sleep on the bed only, to be frank. But after this, sometime I hear a lot of talk from the Kiran and Supra, from a lot of people. I thought there is something in the book. Let me read this book again. So when second time I read, I felt, oh, there is a lot of things are there in this book. Even I did not satisfied there. Again, I went one more time reading the book. So this time I see a lot of things in there in this book. So there I just chosen the one of the topic called Power of Mastermind. So I'm a very movie fan. So recently I have watched one of the movie. So I felt that movie content is very helpful to this topic. So let me tell one of the beautiful story from a man who broke the mountain. So there is a guy who is very poor and from one of the village from the Bihar state. The distance from his village to the town is only 12 kilometers. But due to a long-standing mountain, this distance went to 40 kilometers. There was a time his wife is in medical emergency, but due to this long distance, he lost his wife. He felt very sad and upset at the time. There he decided that no one else in the village will face or suffer this problem as her wife has suffered. So he determined to break the mountain for making the path. Again, he started with his manual hammer and small instruments. So he decided to drill all the mountain. And the people watched him and people called him, are you a stupid person? Are you mad? What are you doing there? But he did not care about all of those things because his desire and his mastermind is something different other than the crowded people. After 22 years of continuous dedicated work without any holiday, he finally made it. This person is none other than Dasharath Manjhi, who is the mountain man of India. After that, government has recognized his work and helped him with the good facilities to his village. To conclude the talk, when you have a good mastermind and lot of enthusiastic people surrounded by you, lot of big goals are easy to achievable. And thanks for giving me this opportunity over to Kiran.
Thank you so much, Sashi, for a sweet and again powerful talk of Dashrath Manjhi. In fact, the movie itself is inspiring. I remembered the moment you talked his name, his movie flashed into my mind. Truly inspiring. Thank you so much, Sashi, for sharing your talk. Awesome. Revati, I'll spotlight. Will you go next? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hi all, good evening.
Revati, you are muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Good evening all. So I am Revati and I am from Bangalore. So today the topic that I wanted to talk is from the Road Less Traveled book, and today I'll be talking about the problem solving. So just to summarize, last week I spoke on the first tool of how we overcome the problems. It was delaying of the gratification, which is nothing but we need to first prioritize the pain over the pleasure instead of enjoying the pleasure and then thinking about the pain. So today I just wanted to talk more on that, like how that habit gets cultivated. So it's not like it comes all of a sudden, right? So that has to start right from our childhood. And when I say childhood, so as a kid we don't know anything, right? We usually observe what our parents do and we just copy that. So if now let's say we are all in the such a good environment or association, right? Like where you get to learn lot of things. The books might be even in the health community. I see many health enthusiasts every day they work out, right? So as a kid, when they observe that, they also start doing the same thing. But usually most of the times that's not the case. And also the most common thing, like what even we would have experienced as a kid is they would say, if you do this, I will buy a chocolate for you. If you do this, then I will I mean anything. This is the usual habit, right? So there is nothing wrong about that. But as a kid, like when we don't know anything or when the kids don't know anything, like how do they take it is they get into some kind of that mood, you know, like, okay, if I don't do this, then people will not love me. So somewhere this feeling starts and it's really not good. So this creates some kind of insecurity and gradually, yeah, it might be even worse for them. So the whole point what I wanted to tell is it starts right from the childhood, okay? And also the time we give on them is very important. Like see, while we were kids, I think we were very lucky enough that mom was with us and we were brought up. But given the development or might be the different constraints that we have now, everyone is working, so definitely we cannot dedicate the time to kids also, right? So there are many aspects to it. But I think I wanted to show a short clip from a Hindi movie. I share the screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, Revati.
Yeah. So this is a Chichore movie. I just wanted to play this.
Guys, are you able to hear the sound? Kya?
No, we are not able to hear.
No, right? Revati, can you enable the sound?
Is there any option or what again? I'm just sharing the screen.
You have to share the sound. When you are sharing, no, go to the top. You will see a green color bar. There, view options will be there. Wahan pe you need to select sound, or else you reshare it and you checkbox an option called share sound. So when you click share screen in the bottom left corner, you will get a checkbox called share sound. If you click that, then the sound will be audible.
I hope your day was very good today. And yeah, as always, I have not prepared today as well. Only the first two talks, I was very confident and prepared very well. As Kiran suggested me, I started reading this book, Think and Grow Rich. It's actually, as everyone said, I literally am not understanding. I'm reading the same sentence twice, thrice, 4 times until it goes to my head. But yeah, it is. I came to third chapter because second chapter he has Vikas has described, I think, today in this talk. So I thought, let me share faith part of it. Faith, as Karthik sir said, yeah, you should have faith in yourself. Faith is infinite. So yes, faith is nothing but belief. You should believe in yourself and you can achieve infinite things. So faith is external identity, life, power, and action. Impulse, action to the impulse of thought. So if you have very good faith in yourself and you are confident that you can do things, then you'll 100% you find your path and purpose in life. So faith is a starting point of all accumulation of rich. So you should be faithful enough and believe in yourself. Faith is a basic of all miracles and all mysteries which cannot be analyzed by the rules of science. So yeah, this again I need to understand. Faith is only known antioxidants for failure. So that's how I'm actually going through this book. So I need to improve a lot, as Kiran said, and I feel I'm going right. I'm in the right place to improve myself. So that's all, Kiran. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Soumya. It's not easy to accept it because don't worry, the book is not so easy to understand, because even when the first time when I read it, trust me, I convinced myself that I understood, but those learnings are not applied. Those learnings are not, reflecting in my actions. And
yeah,
when Vijay told me, and Vijay told me, Kiran, I think something is wrong. Then I actually realized what you're learning and when you apply and what you understand are 3 different things. So, accepting that itself is a bigger thing, Soumya. So definitely we'll connect offline and we'll discuss more on those topics, and you can present maybe in next book club. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Soumya. So before we come to an end, I just wanted to highlight few of the things which all of the speakers spoke beautifully. So while we want to increase our communication skills, we want to become effective, 3 points which you can focus on to create connection with your audience such that your communication becomes powerful and effective. So I'll just share 3 important points which will summarize all of wonderful speakers, what everyone spoke. And also I'll share an important message where if you can remember that, then all of your talks will have that secret which can add a lot of value to people's life. Okay, so 3 points. So one is the better communication will need the following 3. The one is thought, second is emotion, third is action. Okay, I repeat. First is thought, second is emotion, and third is action. And you just go back and whatever talk Nikita or Karthik, Sahana, Rohit, all of these people spoke. One was a thought, is something we know. And when they share using maybe a presentation or a short clip, we realize there's a very strong information going to us. Second is the emotion. While they were speaking, they were feeling those emotions, because most of you have gone through those journeys or you're applying in your real life and you're feeling those emotions, and that is where it felt so real. The moment any stories, let's say Nikita shares or Sahana was sharing examples while she was sharing about elevator principle. Those examples were so realistic, and those emotions also were so real, and we could feel those messages what all of the speakers were passing on. Sashi also was sharing. Sashi's body language and the way he feels about the talk, it is so visible, it's so visual. The third point, action. I think this is the most important point, which is where will be so powerful, where your talk will reflect your action. The moment, if you just observe the way Vijay talks, I've been observing for past many years, he has this component, thought and emotion both, but he also adds his action. What does action is all about? When I'm speaking about something of my goals, do I have enough guts to share my own goals currently, what I'm following through, or whatever I'm currently acting upon? If I'm not able to communicate those actions, then the next level of connect is difficult to build. So you already have your thought and emotions, which you can definitely use from your past experiences, but communication does not rely on your always past. It requires what you're doing right now. Aap abhi kya seekh rahe ho? What are you right now learning? It's not about your past. What are you learning right now? If you're a leader, if you're influencing, what are you doing currently? And that always will convey through your actions. And you don't have to prepare for that, because while you're acting upon your aspirations, goals, dreams, whatever struggles you're facing, it will reflect. And that is the best, one of the 3 important points which you can maybe remember whenever you present your talk. At least 2 to 3 important points you can include in it. Okay? So just to summarize this, the one sentence which will be very powerful for all of you is that any message you try to communicate should have a part of you. Any message you try to communicate should have a part of you. Whatever 4 points I've discussed right now, it just creates an atmosphere to connect with your audience. If I'm able to speak like this, as Supra was mentioning, the kind of practice we used to do, even now to prepare content or to talk to you, I do not take it lightly. I may not claim that I practice so much compared to what I used to do before, but I at least give myself 2 hours, proper 2 hours prior to the notice. I set myself up. In fact, today was my brother's birthday. We had a lot of fun today morning. We went to beach. We had a lot of good photos. We built wonderful memories, which I used to feel कि बचपन में ये सब क्यों नहीं किया. मैं सोचा था कि वाइजैग में यार इतनी अच्छी बीच है, लोग ये बीच के लिए तरसते हैं. I never appreciated the beach which is there in Vizag. Today, for past 2 days, I was just going for drive, watching Vizag beach, just watching the shores coming, when you see the water, putting the sounds, and you just sit and wonder and reflect your life. And then today I took my mom and dad and brother. We had wonderful time, and we hired a professional photographer. Suddenly we got a professional photographer, I think 10 bunch of passionate people in Vizag beach, and they wanted to click photos. Then I told them, chalo, photo le lo achhe se. And they were so passionately clicking the photo. And for one time, my brother was clicking photo. My mom used to tell me, mummy बोल रही थी कि मेरा बेटा तो अल्लू अर्जुन की तरह दिख रहा है. Those moments was priceless, and I used to feel it. पहले क्यों नहीं किया था मैंने? Why could not I was so aware of it to do something in this precious time? So what I was trying to do, whatever I'm doing in a day-to-day basis, if I'm able to share with you guys, creating a lesson out of it, your communication becomes more effective, because you're not living in the past, you're living in present, and your present always matters. That is what Girija also told, like today matters. So that's about it. Just to summarize, all of your communication, all good communicators spoke today had 3 important aspects. One is thought, second is emotion, third is action. And if you don't remember all of this, remember one thing: in all of your talk, you should have some part of you. If Mitesh is speaking, Mitesh का एक part होना चाहिए उसके talk में, तभी तो उसका talk है वो. And that is where the communication becomes so unique for different people, and we can learn so amazing things from all of you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope added some sort of value. So that's about it. All right, good. So while we are coming end of the session, I know we don't have Prakash to summarize. So why don't we help each other to summarize our talk? So people who have not spoken, please speak up. तो जिन्होंने बात कर लिया है तो ठीक है, उन्होंने बात कर लिया, but people who have not spoken, I would humbly request you to maybe open your unmute your mic or anything, and maybe share few of the learnings what you have learned, and so that we can summarize the whole talk and keep it in end for today's book club. So who will start?
Hello, Kiran.
Yeah, Nikhila, go ahead.
Can I start?
Sure, Nikhila.
Actually, I joined a little bit late, so I have heard about Karthik and Sahana's topic, and then one more, so 2 more topics. So I will give on that.
Sure, Nikhila. You can maybe, what you do is while all of you are summarizing, Just pick the key points so that we can make it crisp and we can cover within time. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Karthik and Sahana, they spoke about dream, struggles, and victory. So in that they have given us very valuable points from each and every Olympian member. So so some valuable points are believe in your dream, that is possible, and then always take on big challenges. And then other 2 points are trust your heart and always get started and don't quit. So these are the 4 valuable points that they have spoken from that book. And one more topic is the elevator principle, which is Sahana spoke about. So she has spoken about relationship points where we have to be always an adder. We should not be a subtract in any kind of relationships. And if we want always, we have to be always we have to always encourage the people. So we have to always look at the positive side of the life. So and then one more topic is which Nikita spoke about. Know your why before you are going to do anything. So we should always ask ourselves why we are going to do this and what are we going to what is the impact that we are going to do in that particular thing. So I have so these are the points that I
Very
listed.
nice, Nikhila. Thank you so much for adding your summary points. Who else? Mitesh, you want to add?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Mitesh.
Good evening, all of you. And I just click in 2 values added from the other speakers. Just from one from Revati ma'am. Every child has learned about how he get his journey and achieve something and handle it. But parents should also learn to their children how to handle the failure, and it is necessary to at the starting stage. And second from elevator and I it is suggested to all we should be elevator and as a multiplier, not be the failure of the become the cause of the failure of others. And it's just a quote, भला किसी का कर ना सको तो बुरा किसी का मत करना. Thank you.
Amazing, Mitesh. Truly awesome. Great. Or anyone else can add few more speakers? Mohit.
Yes, sir. Mohit this side. सर मैं एक्चुअली अपनी एक स्टोरी शेयर करना चाहूंगा जो निकिता मैम और जो कार्तिक सर ने बताई थी, तो उनका कंपाउंड करके एक्चुअली व्हेन आई saw failure in my CAs, then I am thinking about the quitting the CA because I saw failure from many attempts. I gave more than 6 to 7 attempts for my CA inter, and repeatedly I am failing. Then the same question I asked to myself, why I am starting with that, why I started that. If today after giving 4 to 5 years, today I give 4 to 5 years, after that I am thinking about to quit the CA. The main then I thought that why I started, then give goosebumps to me, and then after that I will clear that. I clear that CA, my CA entry in that time. And the same thing Karthik sir shown one of the Olympian who told us don't think about the quit. Sir,
Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Mohit. आपने तो पूरा कार्तिक का मैसेज पढ़ के अपनी स्टोरी को ही बता दिया आपने. What a way of putting across the learnings. Amazing, Mohit. Loved it. Great. Quickly, anyone else want to add? We had few more speakers as well.
So hi Kiran, it's Nikita here. Other Nikita.
Yeah, Nikita, go ahead.
Yeah. So I want to tell Ki the other Nikita what she spoke was that was really the takeaway. So we should not just take everything. We should ask them why, because why is key to success. And another thing you added is have your touch, have your essence in the way. So that is what I follow in everything, because in my internship also they believe ki everybody doesn't speak at all. So मैं बहुत talkative हूँ उधर.
So they want me to be same like them. Performance should speak, talk less, work more. They believe, but मैंने जाके सब change कर दिया, and they were like, you have. Then they accepted me that the way I am. They're like, this is Nikita. Nikita matlab talkative. So they cannot change me. So they like that attitude of mine. So that's what I wanted to carry. Everywhere I go, I don't want to lose myself. I wanted to carry it. So that's what. And again, Supra, what she told was exactly true. Because one cheese, if we practice something, we should not let it go. We should not have a gap in between. So once I did anchoring, which I loved a lot. After that, I had at least 6 months of gap. So again, I got an offer of doing anchoring, which I screwed up because I had a gap, because I didn't have that rapport in between. So that was a takeaway.
Superb. Thank you so much, Nikita. Nikita added Supra stock as well. What else? Who else can add more quickly?
Kiran, I want to add one more point.
Sure, Sashi.
So Rohit had shared some important points on the financial freedom. So there he just added one quote. Inside we are sharp, outside we are domestic animals. What a powerful quote that he has shared on the financial freedom that I really enjoyed the talk. So this is one to add. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Awesome, Sashi. Who else? Soumya, you're adding? Okay.
Mohit, I would like to add about Mohit.
Sure.
He's very important of to-do list and how we start. Again, it come down to the same question: why we are making that to-do list and what is the priority? And try small goals every day, and like as simple things as like calling your mom and dad, those things. And first things first, he said, and manage your time effectively. And if you're scrolling down on Instagram or Facebook, you should know why and use those time effectively. That's what.
Awesome. I think this Sai covered, no, Soumya? A to-do list.
Mohit.
Mohit or Sai, no, it is.
Sai and Mohini both covered it.
Sai and Mohini. Okay, awesome. चलो सौरभ तो बोला, सौरभ आप ही ऐड कर दो बाकी दो तीन. आप तो भी talk में इसको add.
It was they both covered about this to-do list, and most important couple of points I could quote is when we write down our goals, we should be able to visualize our future. And Mohini also explained about this Pareto principle, like 20% of our works give 80% of output.
Wow.
That's what I'd like to say.
Awesome. Anyone else want to add? Quick, we have hardly 2 minutes left. Okay, 2 minutes.
I think Girja ji shared about reality and expectation. So Vishal shared about desire, giving his example on changing job, burning the ships. And then Harsha partly covered about mindfulness. Then Shabina covered about goals if not achieved, from Alchemist, from Paul Coelho. I think that's all. Supra was covered, Rohit, Nikita, Sasi's topic also was covered. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Karthik, for summarizing. So we'll quickly take the photo. So we'll the photo time while we end. Okay. So guys, अब अपना चेहरा दिखा दो अब. बारात आ चुकी है.
I'll load. My daughter is waiting for only photo.
Nice. चलो कोई तो.